Good day, class. We will be discussing present worth method. Uh, Present worth method usually is a widely used technique in engineering economics and financial analysis in order for you to evaluate the feasibility and profitability of an investment project. So it involves converting all cash flows, both inflows and outflows, usually associated with project into their equivalent value at the present time using a specified discount rate. So the present worth method is actually uh it's about discounting future cash flows, time value of money, investment or analysis. Okay. So discounting future cash flow, it means that the present worth method converts the future cash inflows and outflows to their equivalent present values using an appropriate discount rate. So that is for the future cash flows. With respect to the time value of money, it accounts for the time value of money, which is recognizing that the peso received today is worth more than a peso received in the future. So that is the time value of money. So if it's in investment analysis, this method is used to evaluate the viability and, of course, the profitability of the investment opportunities by comparing the present worth values, which one to choose, something like that. So, the importance of present worth analysis, of course, if in order for you to have an informed decision making, to risk mitigation and also to time value consideration. So, in informed decision making, you are able to provide a more accurate evaluation of the true economic value of a certain project or investment that you're going into. So you are able to decide which one is better. And in risk mitigation, it helps you to identify and account for risk associated with future cash flows in order for you to have a more prudent investment decisions. Also to lessen if ever it fails. No, it lessens the burden of a loss. Okay. So for time value consideration, it is by discounting future cash flows. The present worth method recognizes the time value of money in a critical factor in financial planning. Um, Also, it gives you to have a clear measure of economic value of of a certain project. It also give you uh the value of money into account that you're gonna be using. Okay. So the factors affecting present worth is the discount rate. So for the discount rate, the chosen discount rate, significantly impacts the present worth calculation because with higher rates, reducing the present value. Okay, so for the cash flows or the timing of cash flows, it occurs closer to the worth method that are weighted uh, more heavily than those in distant future. So that is the timing of cash flows. So of course, inflation, which is the rising prices over time, which can erode the purchasing power of future cash flows, and also it reducing their uh, present worth. The risk profile, higher risk investments typically require a higher discount rate, leading to a lower present worth. Okay. So, applying present worth to investment decision for investment comparison, capital budgeting, and project evaluation. So, for investment comparison, present worth analysis allows you for an objective comparison for different investment opportunities. So, you are able to know which one you're investing in a long run. Okay, what is your goal? Is it a short term, medium term, or a long term? So, you are able to know which investment is better than the other one. So for capital budgeting, so it helps you to be informed the decision by identifying the most profitable projects that you're going to undertake, or the your which investment is more viable for capital budgeting. Okay, so and lastly, the project evaluation, you are able to evaluate the feasibility of a proposed project, which one is viable, which one is profitable in the near future if you have investment. Okay, so higher cost doesn't mean higher profit. Sometimes higher cost, uh, some higher cost, lower gain, or worse, more loss. So, having a present worth method, it helps you to decide which is a better investment. Okay, so the advantages of course, of present worth method is it gives you uh the value of money. It also provides you objective comparison which one is better, and also it compares projects which has similar lifespan, and but with different profit or loss. Okay, so of course the limitation, it relies only on the accuracy of a cash flow projections, and also it also requires selecting appropriate discount rate, which can be very subjective. So that's another limitation. Also, it's not directly applicable to projects with differing lifespan. Okay, unless there will be adjustment that are made, usually using least common multiple of lifespan. Okay, so in for present world method, discounting future cash flows convert the present world method converts future cash flows to their equivalent present day value. So that is the key of present world method. It also gives you an informed decision making. It gives you or provides you more accurate assessment of investment opportunities, leading to better informed decisions. Uh, Meaning less risk and better judgment of an investment that you're going into. And of course, it has limitation and consideration in order for you to have an accurate forecasting and selection of an appropriate discount rate. So these are some of the formulas that are gonna be using. So the first formula is the P, which is the present word, and A would represent the expected annual receipts, no? Or profit. Okay. So is A is equals to 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 all over 1 plus I raised to n multiplied by I. So n represent the years and I represents the interest rate or the rate. Okay, so for the present word, you can have P equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So F represents the future and then the P is past. So the present, sorry. So you're comparing this value with the original investment. If it is bigger than the capital invested, then it is a good investment. But if it is smaller than the capital invested, of course, then it is not a good investment. So uh, no, take note that if the computed present worth is less than the original capital invested, it is not a good investment. So we are going to solve problems uh, with the topic of present worth method. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share. Okay. So the first one to solve, uh, the city of Bocaue contemplates to increase the capital of existing water transmission lines with two plans that are under consideration. So you have Plan A requires the construction of a parallel pipeline, the flow being maintained by gravity, which has an initial cost of $3 million and a life of 40 years. So with an annual operating cost of $4,500. The other plan, which is Plan B, requires the construction of a booster pumping station costing $1 million, with the life of 40 years also. So the pumping equipment costs additional amount of $200,000. So it has a life of 20 years and a salvage value of $20,000. So the annual operating cost is $150,000, which is the most economic plan if the interest rate is 10%. And how much is the difference between the two plans? Okay, so we'll compute the first plan. We have plan A. Okay, plan A. So we are going to have uh the first cost, which is $3 million. So $3 million plus the annual operating cost of 4,500. Okay. So 4,500, 4,500 quantity, 1.1. So because it's 10% raised to 40, minus 1 all over 1.1 1.1 raised to 40 multiply by 10%. Okay, so we compute. So 4,500 quantity 1.1 raised to 40 minus 1 all over 1.1 raised to 40 multiply by 10%. Then multiply by 4,500. So that would be 44,000 5.73 plus $3 million. 3 million. So that would be 3 million. Sorry. 44,005. 3,044,005.73. So this would be your total cost for plan A. Okay. So for plan B, you have a pumping station. So it has it has a costing of, sorry, you have costing of $1 million. So $1 million plus 200,000 multiply by 1.1 minus raised to 40, sorry, minus 1 all over 1.1 raised to 40 minus, sorry, quantity 0.1. Okay, so this would be 100,000. So 1.1 minus 40 times, okay, plus, so that would be, um, all in all, that would be 2,955,810.40. Okay, so this is the plan B. But for plan B, we have an equipment. After 10 years, you need to have a new pumping equipment is required. So it adds you an additional of present worth, no? You have 200,000. So for the pump, the new pump required. So you have 200,000 plus the 200,000 for 20 years. 200,000 over the discount with a rate of 1.1 raised to 20. Minus with the it has a salvage value of 20,000. Sorry, correct? Is that correct? Uh, $20,000. Yes, $20,000. $20,000 over 1.1. $20,000 over 1.1 raised to 40 because it's salvage value is 40 years. Okay, so it will have uh compute this. This would be 200,000 plus 200,000 by 1.1 raised to 20 minus 20,000 over 1.1 raised to 40. So uh, that would be 29,286.83 plus 200,000. So that would be 229,286.83 dollars. So this would be your additional for that one. And then we add the first cost, which is for plan B, which is 2,900,000. So plan B, total present worth for plan B would be 2,955,810.14 plus 229,286.83. So that would be 8, So all in all, it would be 3,185,096.97 dollars. So we will be uh, comparing. So plan A has 3 million. Plan A, 3 million 44,000 44 3,044,005 point 73 versus plan B, $3 million, 185,093.97. So of course, plan A is economical than plan B. So three with the difference of 3,185,093.97 minus 3,044,005.73. So with the difference of 141,088.24. So we will choose plan A. Okay. Okay. So you can double check the computation. So next, uh, for the project study of economic students in DYCI of a certain business investment, if a money is worth 10% of the project is more desirable, using present worth method and determine the difference in profit from each project study with 8 years length of study period. So for plan A, you have the initial investment is 3,500 pesos with an annual revenue of 1,900 pesos. So the annual disbursement amounts to 645 pesos with no salvage value at the end of its life, which is 5 years. So for plan B, you have an initial investment, which is 6,000 pesos with an annual revenue of 3,000 pesos. So the annual disbursement is 1,400 with no salvage value at the end of its life in 8 years. So we will choose which plan is better. So for plan A, it takes 8 years length of both, no? So we will have the P1, which is the annual, which is 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 all over 1 plus I raised to n I. So you have annual of 1,900. This is plan A, by the way. 1,900 multiplied by 1.1 raised to 8 minus 1 all over 1.1 raised to 8 multiplied by 0.1. So that would be 10,126. So you have your expenses. For plan A, you have 3,500. For the initial investment. Then you have the 645 pesos disbursement amount. So you have 645 multiply by 1.1 raised to 8 minus 1 all over 1.1 raised to 8 multiplied by 0.1. So I think this would be 3,441. And then lastly, we have the salvage value of 5 years. No? So you have the first cost 3,500 all over 1.1 raised to 5. So this would be 2,173 pesos. So we add all of this 3,500 plus 3,441 plus 2,173. So we have a total expense of 25 plus 3,441 plus 2,173. So that would be 9,114. Total expense 9,114. So we have the profit of 10,126. So that would be 1,000. So plan A, 1,012. Then you just recompute. 3 plus 3,441 plus 2,173 minus 10,136. So we will shall we compute this one again? 19 multiplied by 1.1 raised to 8 minus 1. 1 by 1 raised to 8. Or this one is 1,036. So we will have plan A, profit of 1,022 pesos. Sorry, you just recompute this one. So it's 10,136. And so we will have a profit of 1,022 for plan A. So we have a profit. So for the second one, plan B. So plan B. So we have 1,400 annual disbursement with no salvage value in 8 years. But we also have an initial investment of 6,000 with annual revenue of 3,000 pesos. Okay. So we compute for the total expense. So we have the initial cost of 6,000 pesos. Initial cost. And then we have the disbursement of 1,400 for 8 years. No? So 1.1, 10% again, raised to 8 minus 1 all over 1.1 raised to 8 multiplied by 0. So this would be 7,468.9. Okay, so we just add both of the cost. So we have 6,000 plus 7,468.9. We will have 13,468.9 pesos. So for the revenue, we have 3,000. This is the total expense, no? So the revenue for plan B. So you'll have 3,000 pesos of the annual revenue there. So 3,000 multiplied by 1.1 raised to 8 minus 1 over 1.1 raised to 8 multiplied by 1. So that would be 16,004.78 pesos. So we just deduct this and this. So the profit would be for plan B would be 16,000 pesos, 64.78 minus 13,000, 468.9. So that would be 2,535.88. So the difference between the two profit of plan A would be 10. Plan A would have 1,022. So plan A, 1,022 pesos. Plan B, would be 2,535.88. So of course, we are going to choose plan B because it has higher profitability. So we deduct 2,535.88 minus 1,022. So it has a difference of 1,513 more than B. Plan B has 1,513 more, 0.88 more than plan A. So we're gonna choose plan B. Okay, so I'll give you a practice problem. So for you to do in your present worth method. So there are two types of condenser that are being considered for a certain power plant. So a machine A has a first cost of 120,000 pesos and a salvage value of 2,000 pesos. So life is 5 years and operating cost of 1,000 pesos. So machine B has a first cost of 136,000 pesos, life of 8 years with no salvage value, annual operating cost is 800 pesos, which machine should be used to justify the purchase of such machine if money is worth 7%, and compute the difference between its equivalent present worth. Okay, so that would be all. So thank you.